Imagine you are cleaning out an old dusty attic in your grandfather's house. In a dark corner, you find a small old glass bottle. The label is yellow and almost falling off, but you can still read one word: poison. At that exact moment, a very important question comes to your mind. Is this still dangerous? Did time make it weak and useless? Or did it turn into a chemical monster waiting for someone to touch it? The answer to this question opens a door to a secret and scary world where science and time play a very long and deadly game. To understand this secret, we have to go back 500 years in time. We need to meet a famous man named Paracelsus. He was a doctor who was obsessed with strange materials and secrets. He told the world something that we still teach in every science school today. Everything in this world is a poison. The amount is the only thing that matters. Paracelsus wanted us to understand that death is hidden in everything around us, even in the clean water we drink every day. If you drink a massive amount of water, more than your body can handle, it becomes a deadly poison. It causes something called water intoxication, which makes your brain cells swell and burst. This shows us that the word poison is not just about a bottle you buy from a shop. It is a huge world that starts from the small plants in your garden to the heavy metals hidden deep inside the earth. Let us look closer at the most famous poisons in nature. The poisons from living creatures, which we call organic toxins. Snake venom is the most strange and complex chemical mix you can imagine. It is not just a liquid that burns the skin. It is like a high-tech weapon made of hundreds of proteins and enzymes. These are designed with perfect accuracy to destroy a body in seconds. There was a terrifying experiment where scientists mixed human blood with the venom of 3 deadly snakes. The results were a real nightmare. One type of venom, as soon as it touched the blood, turned it into a solid jelly in less than 10 seconds. Imagine that happening inside your body. Your heart would stop instantly because the blood cannot move through your veins. Another venom did the opposite. It made the blood so thin that the victim died from internal bleeding because the blood lost its ability to clot. Then there is the silent killer, the neurotoxic venom. It does not touch the blood at all. Instead, it runs to the nervous system and cuts the messages between the brain and the muscles. It paralyzes the lungs and the heart while the victim is still wide awake and feeling everything. The thing about these organic poisons is that they are made of chemical bonds between carbon and hydrogen. Unfortunately for the poison, these bonds are very weak against one enemy. Over many years, with exposure to light, heat, and air, these bonds start to break down. If a snake's venom has 13 deadly parts, maybe after 10 years, 2 of them will break, but the other 11 stay dangerous and ready. This means organic poison becomes weaker slowly over time, but it stays a threat for a very long time before it finally turns into a safe liquid with no power. But there is another kind of killer that does not know the meaning of weakness. These are the eternal killers, inorganic poisons. Heavy metals like lead and arsenic are not complex chemical mixes that can be broken. They are raw materials from the earth itself. These materials do not expire like the food in your fridge. They follow a cold and scary law of physics called the half-life. If you have a piece of radioactive lead, it takes many, many years, sometimes hundreds of years, for its mass to decrease by half. But the small part that stays is just as powerful and just as deadly as the day it was taken from the ground. Arsenic was the favorite tool for killers in the old days. If you leave a bottle of arsenic in 1,000 years and then use it today, it will kill with the same speed and the same silence. For these materials, time is just a number. It has no power over them at all. The most shocking part is that some poisons become even stronger when they expire. We see this very clearly in chemicals made by humans, like bug sprays and some types of medicine. Companies put an expiration date on the bottle not because the poison dies, but because the chemicals that keep the mix stable start to fail. When this happens, the poison goes crazy. It reacts with itself and creates new, unknown, and very dangerous chemicals. A spray that was made to kill only small insects might, after it expires, turn into a toxin so strong that it burns the plants and poisons the water for 1,000 years. The same tragedy happens with some human medicines. After they expire, their chemical structure changes, and they turn into materials that attack the liver and the kidneys immediately. You have to realize that some poisons are like a reflection of our own lives. Some poisons get weak and die slowly, like living things. Others stay strong for hundreds of years, as if they are fighting against time. And some poisons show their teeth and become even more dangerous when they reach their end. This world of toxins is not just about death. It is a science that shows us how life and death are connected by a simple chemical amount. To make this even more clear, think about the history of medicine. Many of the drugs we use today to save lives were actually discovered by studying poisons. In the right amount, a poison can be a cure. But when time passes and the chemistry changes, that cure can turn back into a killer. This is why scientists spend their lives studying how these materials change. They want to know exactly when a substance stops being helpful and starts being a danger. It is a constant race against time and nature. In the end, the secret of the old bottle in the attic is simple but deep. Whether the poison is still deadly or not depends on what it is made of. Nature has its own ways of cleaning up some toxins, but other toxins are here to stay forever. Every bottle has a story, and every chemical has a life of its own. The next time you see an expiration date, remember that it is not just a date. It is a warning about the silent changes happening inside the bottle. Chemistry never sleeps, and time never stops changing the world around us.